Labor Day. This is a day that we recognize all those that labor and work and appreciate the efforts that they put forth to help make America the greatest nation in the world. Labor Day has an interesting history. It goes back to the Industrial Revolution and how there were tariff taxes at the beginning of the country. There was no income tax up until Woodrow Wilson. Little one during the Civil War, but really none until Woodrow Wilson. So the federal government was financed through tariff taxes. You think, what does that have to do with Labor Day? Well, tariff taxes made foreign goods more expensive, so people bought American-made goods. And they worked, and people bought so many American-made goods that there were lots of factories, and the factories hired people. And with the Industrial Revolution, there was steel, and it made railroads and bridges, and then all kinds of ceramics and textiles and all kinds of different advances in farm equipment. And America saw the fastest rise of the standard of living of any other time in world history. And it happened here. And as the factories grew, immigrants came over. Nobody forced them to come over, but they wanted to come over, and the immigrants were able to find jobs in these factories. And so everything was moving up, and then there was an economic downturn in 1893, and the sales of railroad cars dropped. And so the railroad companies, the Pullman Railroad Car Company, had to lay off workers. And there was someone named Eugene Debs, and he brought over some of the Marxist sentiment of Europe, the class warfare, and he organized riots. And they burnt railroad cars and knocked over railroad cars and caused a big crisis. And then it interrupted the mail, because the trains carried mail. And so once the mail that crossed state lines was stopped, this is when the federal government got involved. And the President Grover Cleveland sent in armies and troops to stop these riots. And they finally were stopped. And the President Grover Cleveland was running for re-election. And so he decided that he was going to have a Labor Day. Now, he did not want it to be on May 1st, which was the Communist Labor Day. Workers of the world unite. And in the Soviet Union and other countries, May 1st is their Labor Day. But Grover Cleveland said, we don't want it to be associated with communism. And so he picked September 1st. The first ended up being the first Monday in September. Now, Grover Cleveland did not win re-election, and Eugene Debs was thrown in prison, but Labor Day stayed. And we do honor those that labor and work. There was different offsets that happened. The standard of the worker, the condition improved. And so there was no more child labor, and the working conditions got safer, and a 40-hour work week and the 2-day weekend, and things went great. But as the cost of manufacturing went up, it squeezed the sponge, and manufacturing left the country and went into other countries. And it began something called outsourcing. And so as the years of this went on, the number of manufacturing jobs in America began to go down and down and down until now it's around 12%, whereas during this World War II, it was 50%. And so we've seen a situation turn around. Well, it's important for us to understand that the Bible talks about working and the work ethic and God blessing our work. And we need to remember those that are working. We're all working, but specifically the jobs that help make things and manufacture things. And on Labor Day, we honor and respect them and encourage them on. God bless you on Labor Day.